It's May and we've got a great arm toning walk with no equipment. Let's go. All right, killer bees, let's go ahead and get moving and grooving, and that means that we're getting started with some arm circles with high knees. You guys, are you ready for this one? I'm so excited. Welcome to the workout. I'm Paula B. I'm your best middle-aged fitness friend, and around here we are all about making peace with your menopausal body by finding a healthy weight and moving in ways that feel like love, you guys. You may or may not love this one. But I am actually, you know what, I'm just gonna start with the warning here. Here's my warning to you. If you have shoulder pain, today is probably not gonna be your best day. I would actually pick some other video of mine. There's a lot of mobility today, like a lot. It is, in fact, pretty much, it's not the point of what we're doing, because what we are doing is toning our arms, but one of the ways that we tone our arms is by moving them in all planes of motion so that all of the supporting muscles, as well as the actual muscles that you can see, your biceps and triceps, are getting worked today. And that means that I'm also going to issue a warning that even though today is not very fast moving, we are walking, there is a walking element to it, but a lot of today is toning work, meaning slower moving work. And I'm gonna tell you that even though you might be tempted to try and get tons of reps in to get all the benefit that you can, you're probably gonna be sore if you do that. Let's go ahead and do some arm crossers with booty kickers. So take today at like a super mild, mellow pace. Like I'm already kind of intentionally just calming myself down, even though I'm totally excited about this workout, like I always am. I really wanna make sure that I'm taking today at a pace that I won't regret tomorrow. And really, oh my gosh, isn't that just like the best way of thinking about everything that we do? When you do everything with intentionality, not just what feels good right here, right now, in this moment, but thinking, how is this gonna feel tomorrow? And I mean that for all of our choices. How are you going to feel tomorrow if you stay up too late today? How are you going to feel tomorrow if you don't drink enough water today? How are you going to feel tomorrow if you eat something that you know isn't gonna settle well tomorrow? So making those choices today to have a better tomorrow, which sounds like a weird commercial or something, is really what we are thinking about with this workout. Let's go ahead and do some welcome to my homes, because welcome to Blossom's sleeping home. I guess I'll be a little bit quieter since she's napping. Although, you know what? I'm pretty sure she's deaf at this point, because I've noticed that she really struggles to hear me when I'm calling her. And that's not just her being disobedient because she's a terrier. Trust me, she's disobedient because she's a terrier too. But I think she legitimately can't hear me anymore. That's what my husband claims too. About him not listening. You guys, here's what it looks like today. I've got the handy dandy gym boss sit for intervals of 20 seconds. And none of those is rest, but a fair few are going to be walking. In fact, we're gonna go ahead and start with walking right now, because here's what it looks like. We're gonna walk, and then I've got one toning exercise for us, and then we're gonna walk again. And then we're gonna inchworm our way through today's workout. If you've never done an inchworm before, what that means is I've got pairs of exercises that we're working on together before we walk. And so we're gonna do hands together, triceps extensions, hands all the way up overhead. You're gonna bend your elbows back down and up. Let me turn to the side so you can see. Your biceps are right next to your ears and your elbows are bending. Your elbows are pointed forward the entire time. Your core is pulled in tight because you're standing up straight and tall. Here we come back to walking. Okay. So this is the only time that we're just gonna do the one exercise. The next time we go into toning, we're gonna do those hands together triceps extensions paired with bicycle signals, which is just what it sounds like. Stopping and turning, stopping and turning. So we're gonna do the hands together, triceps extensions. Breathing. If you need to take a break in between every single rep, take a break in between every single rep. There is no prize to be had, especially no prize to be had tomorrow, by doing too many of these. Do what you can in a way that feels good. And then here we go with bicycle signals. Really thinking about having your elbows at the same height as your shoulder, palms facing forward, palms facing the wall behind you. Your elbows are at a more or less 90-degree angle. Let's just pretend like they're 90-ish, okay? Sometimes it's tough, and then here we come back to walking. Okay, so after this walking interval, we're gonna do those bicycle signals again, paired with skiing arms, which is like how we do skiers. We're gonna try and get a full extension all the way up overhead and all the way back, reaching back behind us. So when it beeps though, we're doing the bicycle signals. So here we go with turning and stopping and turning and stopping. When it beeps again, I'm gonna be really tempted to actually do skiers, but it's not meant to be a cardio move at all. I want us thinking about standing up straight and tall, having our core pulled in nice and tight, and really thinking about extending your arm all the way up overhead while the other arm goes back behind you as far as it can go. You notice, oh, that's triceps work. I'm leaning forward slightly. Let me actually show you. And I'm leaning forward slightly, kind of like we do when we're doing skiers. And we're really thinking about where exactly we can extend to. If you can't get that far, let's go ahead and start walking again. If you can't get as far as me, that's never the point. We talk about this all the time. If today is your very first workout with me, hi, welcome. You never have to do what I do, but today especially. You are doing your own mobility at your own pace. When it beeps again, we're doing those skiing arms again, paired with wide elbow pushbacks. So here we go with skiing arms, really thinking all the way up and all the way back. Can you get your hand back behind your hips? Can you get your biceps all the way up next to your ear? When it beeps, we're doing wide elbow pushbacks, which is exactly what it sounds like. Your elbows are gonna be wide and we're pushing them back. This reminds me, and I don't remember, maybe one of you will know, is it a book or was it like an after school special or a TV movie? It was something where there was like girls at summer camp talking about we must increase our bust. And then we're right back to walking. I have no idea what that memory is from. It's from something in my childhood in the 70s. And if one of you knows what that is, will you please leave me a comment? Okay, when it beeps again, we're doing those wide elbow pushbacks again, paired with everybody's favorite door openers, which is having our hands out to the side trying to open up a door. Okay, so here we go with those wide elbow pushbacks. Remember that this isn't cardio. You could make it cardio, but if it was cardio, we wouldn't be getting quite as much toning from it. We're really thinking about squeezing from the middle of our back, really pulling those big back muscles into this work. And then when it beeps again, we're gonna have our hands directly out to the side, more or less. And we're just twisting open a doorknob. Now I've noticed when I'm doing this that I'm trying really hard not to just stand with my knees locked, that what I'm thinking about is having my core pulled in nice and tight, but kind of keeping my feet moving a little bit so that I am ready when it beeps again to go back to walking. And here we go. It's not a full cardio day, but the cardio part is a really nice rest from everything else. Am I right? When it beeps again. We're doing those door openers again, out to the side, paired with peekaboos. Peekaboos we usually do weighted, and today we're doing them unweighted so that you can really feel it. So here we go with door openers. Just thinking about having a doorknob in your hand that you're trying really desperately, apparently, since we're doing it for 20 seconds to open. So when it beeps, we're gonna have our elbows at shoulder height, meeting directly in front of us. Elbows are gonna be at a 90-degree angle, so your hands will be over your head, or at least head height. So elbows all the way together, elbows all the way apart. Elbows all the way together, elbows all the way apart. Really thinking, this is actually a lot like those wide elbow pushbacks, really thinking about squeezing from your chest muscles, squeezing from your back muscles, trying to keep those elbows at shoulder height. Not so easy, I know, but here we go back to walking so we can move our arms. Thank goodness. Okay, you guys, this time we are pairing those peekaboos with something that I am calling scrambling back scratchers, because this is what I do. You're thinking about scratching your back with both hands. One goes up, one goes down, and then both hands the other direction. Here we go with those peekaboos first, and I'm gonna give you a slightly better instruction on those scrambling back scratchers. What I mean is that you're trying to reach your hands, not together necessarily, but you're trying to reach your hands in the middle of your back with one arm going up and over and the other arm reaching behind you from the lower direction. And then you're going to switch. So it's one arm over and the other arm back, one arm over and the other arm back. trying to reach, and honestly, this is one of those tests that I do sometimes, whether or not I can touch my fingertips, whether or not I can get my hands flat on my back. This is a great test of your mobility. And we're also, here we come back to walking, we're also simply thinking about all those muscles in our shoulders that we need to use in order to flex in any direction. When it beeps again, we're doing those scrambling back scratchers. And then we're going to do something I'm calling Y pulses. Why? I don't know, because we're making the letter Y. Here we go with scrambling back scratchers. I did know why. I was being silly. We're literally forming the letter Y with our body, so your feet will be kind of together-ish. Your hands are going to be up and out to the side, like the top half of a capital letter Y, and then we're simply going to pulse them back. So we're thinking about starting in plane with our body and then moving back as far as you can. For me, I mean, what is that, like 2-3 inches? It's not very far. We're really thinking about stretching out those chest muscles, squeezing from those big back muscles in our back, and boy, oh boy, is this good. Here we come back to walking. Is this good for our posture? My friends, the stronger your back is and the more flexible your chest is, the less we will hunch over like this as we age. When it beeps again, we're doing those Y pulses and we're pairing them with the hands together triceps extensions. So we have now gone through the entire circuit and we're just going to go through one more time these Y pulses. Why? Because they're good for us. And then we're going to keep our hands up overhead for those triceps, or hands together triceps extensions. I could not possibly have named that something longer or more awkward, could I? That's pretty much my special skill. Hands together, triceps extensions. When in doubt, I tend to name things something that is difficult for me to pronounce or say quickly because that's what I do, my friends. Really thinking about having your elbows pointed forward, thinking about having your chest up, your core pulled in. And then we're thinking about walking. This is the magic of turning today into a walk. I had originally, like way back when I first envisioned this, thought about just having it be toning and having rest in between. But the more I thought about these exercises, the more I was like, I need to do something else in between. So hands together, triceps extensions paired with bicycle signals. So hands up, elbows pointed forward, really thinking about not locking your knees, having your lower body either engaged or you could be tapping from side to side if you would prefer. Either one is totally okay. However, you can keep your core pulled in so that your lower back is not doing this work. Bicycle signals. We're turning and we're stopping. We're turning and we're stopping, making sure that those elbows stay more or less at shoulder height, more or less at a 90-degree angle. We can move a little bit slower than this. You can actually take a break in between each and every rep, whatever works for you. Walks for me. That was just a little joke because we're walking now. Thank goodness for it. Coming up next, we're going to do those bicycle signals. And this is the final time that we are doing the bicycle signals. I should have mentioned that with the hands together triceps extensions. We're just getting through this circuit 2 times. So second and final time, bicycle signals. I feel like somebody counted this up for me one time because I think I mentioned before, I'm pretty sure we do every one of them 4 times. I think that math sounds good to me right now. I have no idea. Bicycle signals for the last time, and we're pairing it with skiing arms, trying to get one hand all the way up overhead, the other one back behind your hips as far as you can go, palms facing each other, really thinking about rotating through that shoulder, making sure your shoulder is getting all of that mobility. And one of the ways that your shoulder can have a mobility is by having strong triceps, biceps, and chest and back muscles. We're back to walking now. We're going to do those skiing arms again for the final time, paired with the wide elbow pushbacks coming up next. You guys, I'm feeling this work. How about you? How are you doing? This is our last round. We don't have a whole lot longer. Here we go with those skiing arms. And now really is the time to be aware of how much work you're doing. Some of us went out a little bit too hard on round 1. Some of us thought, oh, this is no big deal. This feels really good. And some of us might need to slow it down and take it down a notch on round 2. And that's totally okay. Here we go with wide elbow pushbacks, really thinking about having those elbows more or less at shoulder height, elbows more or less at a 90-degree angle, and more or less squeezing back behind your body if you can. Depends on where you can get to. What we're doing is strengthening our body today, and here we come back to walking, and working on flexibility and mobility at the same time. You guys, they go hand in hand. Sometimes we really think about just stretching. We just want to stretch, stretch, stretch to work on our mobility. But the other half of mobility is being strong. When it beeps again, here we go with those wide elbow pushbacks. When it beeps again, we're gonna, just said that, but anyways, when it beeps again, we're doing door openers. We're pairing this with door openers. So thinking about having a doorknob directly at shoulder height out to both sides, because that is a situation that I plan on never being in my entire life. Here we go, twisting those doorknobs open. But here's the thing about always thinking about strengthening, 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 strengthening. If we don't also stretch and work on mobility and flexibility, we're not getting as strong as we can. And if we're always thinking about flexibility and mobility, we're not getting as strong as we can. Here we come back to walking. So working on them in tandem, like we're doing today, really going through our full range of motion, really thinking about squeezing the muscles in a way that's going to help them get stronger. That, my friends, is how not only do we tone our arms, because of course we're toning our arms. Here we go with those door openers, trying not to fall over. But we are also, we're strengthening our entire upper body. And when your entire upper body is stronger and more mobile and more flexible, we can do everything that we want to do as we get older. When it beeps again, we're doing peekaboos. Had to find where I was on my whiteboard. Elbows at more or less shoulder height, at more or less a 90-degree angle. Closing those elbows as close together as you can and then as far apart as you can. Really thinking, which I wasn't for the first couple of reps, about trying to get all the way through this full range of motion. Elbows all the way together. Can you get them all the way together? Here we go with some walking. I get comments about this sometimes. Having anything in the way, not really a problem for me. But I've heard from some of you that it can be awkward and uncomfortable. You're getting to wherever you can get, my friend. When it beeps again, we're doing those peekaboos paired with the scrambling back scratchers. So here we go, peekaboos first, opening and closing, opening as wide as you can. I notice that I'm really trying very hard not to shrug my shoulders as I'm opening wide. I want to, because I know I can move a little bit further if I shrug my shoulders. I just showed you what that looks like. So don't shrug your shoulders, but here we go with scrambling back scratchers. Really thinking about trying to get wherever you can get. If you're on round 2, you're moving a little bit slower and really thinking a little bit more about mobility or a little bit more about the strength involved in this motion. You do you, my friends. We're walking again. When it beeps again, we're doing those scrambling back scratchers for the final time, paired with the Y pulses. I think I know that those scrambling back scratchers are probably your least favorite. They're mine too, just so you know. I put them in here for a reason. I've noticed, here we go with the scrambling back scratchers. I've noticed that when I do not work on this mobility, that I lose this mobility pretty easily. I think about it all the time in the shower, of course, when I'm trying to clean my back, and I notice that I always clean my back in one direction rather than the other. Here we go with Y pulses. And so I've made it a point in my life to think about what I'm doing in the shower, but to think about trying to clean my back from the other direction. My friends, your body is a use it or lose it situation. When we lose mobility, we can gain it back, absolutely. Here we go with walking. We can gain it back, but we have to practice things to keep things. We have to practice mobility to keep mobility, and that's why I included it in very small doses today. When it beeps again, we're doing those Y pulses for the final time, all by themselves, and then we're gonna walk again after that because we will be done. Here we go with Y pulses, but we're not, excuse me, I'm choking on it. We're not quite finished. I know, you wish I would actually just choke on those words and be finished, right? But not quite. I've got one final thing for us. We are gonna walk again while I describe it to you because it's going to take me 20 seconds to describe it to you. There we go, we're walking now. When it beeps again, we were doing super slow chicken wings with high knees. Okay, so here's how I'm thinking about this. When your hands are down, oh no, excuse me, your hands are always up. Your hands are gonna be directly underneath your chin, and your elbows are gonna go down and up, out to the side, like chicken wings. When your elbows are up, one of your knees is up, and we're going super slow. So we're really thinking, this is toning. It could totally be cardio, but we're thinking about it. It's toning and it's balance work. Did you notice? Oh yeah, we're really thinking about pulling in our core. And this is just one interval, my friends. When it beeps again, we will be better than done. Ha, we will be finished. Okay. I'm gonna have us do arm circles to cool down, and it's not gonna feel amazing, but we're just gonna stretch it lightly. Like today, or normally I'm like, oh, go through your full range of motion, really pull hard. Actually, what I'm gonna tell you today is just move your arms very lightly and very gently. They've already been moved through their full range of motion as much as they need to, and now we're just kind of bringing our heart rate down. And honestly, some of this is very Pavlovian. It is very much like our warm-up. When we go through these arm circles with the tappers and then the arm openers, which I'm about to do in a second here, your body knows that that's the end of the workout. The same way that when we start with our arm circles and high knees, your body knows that that's the start of the workout. Let's go ahead and do some arm openers. Open it right up, nice and low. Let's just keep our hands a little bit low on this one, shall we? And then we'll close it up. Give yourself a big hug and a pat on your, let's go for our arm today. You don't even have to go all the way back to your back. You've already done plenty of mobility work. You guys, this kind of workout is such a great thing to add to your routine. Done regularly, and not necessarily every single week, but like done regularly, once or twice a month, truly, you will see more improvement than you can even imagine right now. You guys, here on screen, I do have a little bit more of a cool down for you if you'd like a little bit more, like stretching for your lower body. Wouldn't that be lovely? And also on the other side of the screen, we're talking about everything you need to know to lose weight at age 50 and beyond. Thank you so much for working out with me today. Make sure you click that subscribe button before you go, and I'll see you tomorrow.